Now, modern outboard motors, everyone knows you need to flush them, but do you really have to flush them? Do you have to flush every time? So manufacturers obviously want us to flush our engines. That's why they give us flushing ports in some of the bigger engines. You can get earmuffs and stuff like that. It's really important to flush your engine, but do you have to flush it every single time? Well, that's a really good question. If you're in fresh water and it's clean fresh water, is there any point in coming home and flushing an engine out? Probably not. If it's clean fresh water, there's no point in flushing it out. You're not going to have any salt build up or anything like that. But when is it really, really important to flush an engine? I think it's more important to flush your engine when you're working in salt water and you stop and start all the time. If you're anything like me and a fisherman, you'll go to one fishing spot to another. Your engine heats up, then it cools down. You start it up, you move to another fishing spot, heats up and cools down. And what it does is all those cooling ports in the engine get salt build up on them. And when the engine cools down, the salt's left behind. You'll start up, run it again for a little while, cool it down, leave salt behind again. That's when it's more important to flush your engine out. And don't forget to try to flush your engine as soon as you possibly can. Once an engine's cooled down, a lot of the thermostats close up, and the thermostats allow access for the water to all parts of the engine. What happens is when your engine's cold, your thermostats are closed so that your engine can heat up a little bit without water running through it. Once that heats up to a certain point, it expands those thermostats and they open up, and then water runs through your whole engine. So if you flush an engine when it's dead cold, say an hour or so after you finish boating, you're not going to get water to the entire engine. That's when you probably should put it in a bucket or on the earmuffs and run it for 15 minutes. And that's exactly why boat manufacturers specify that you do run a boat for 15 minutes, because they want it warmed up, they want all those thermostats opened, and they want the water to get through all parts of the engine. Now, a cold flush works pretty well because it will flush it out all those little ports, all those cooling ports, but nothing works better than a warm engine that's been flushed as soon as you finish using it. And look, some people will tell you, if you just got back from a day on the water and you're going out again the next day, do you have to flush your engine at all? Yes, you do actually. Just because you're going out the next day doesn't mean you haven't got salt buildup in those cooling ports of the engine, and that salt buildup occurs from heating up, cooling down, heating up and cooling down, leaving all that salt behind. So whenever you get back from a day on the salt water, always flush your engine. If the fresh water's dirty, or if you've run aground, all that dirt and sand and stuff that the prop can churn up can go through your engine. So flush your engine if you've run aground, or as often as you can anyway. And if you want to know all the ins and outs on how to flush your engine properly, then check this video out up here.